It's been a little while since I did anything really arousing. Often, when I do things like this, when I trance somebody, I'm focused on whatever they want, very much a state of service doming. But sometimes it's fun to just spin the story of my own arousal, my own enjoyment, of what I like to do to people into somebody's brain. So, chill and you're gonna get treated to that. Make sure your body is relaxed. You may feel like you should twitch or act along with the motions, and you have permission to do that. But first and foremost, let's do the nice long induction. That's something I enjoy as well. A nice long time making someone sink. And I'm comfortable enough to put this out there for you and make you listen. 10. Let your mind sink down and open up as if you were trying to let the fullest influence of my words into your head. 9. A little deeper. The moaning, sighing, warm, drifting influence of my words and body so close in your head, wondering if you could lean into the words and let me brush my fingers down your spine, send warm tingles into your brain, set you sweated and wet and hot and blank, engulfed in me, my words flowing in, using your mind until it's loose and limp and deep and drained down. 7, 5, 3, 1, deep, fast. That kind of thing sets my heart beating, turns me on and makes me adore what I do when you sink for me. And truthfully, there's a purity in just focusing on the hypnotic elements. Oh, I'm often someone to add an explicit sexual addition, a description of what might happen. But just being vulnerable, turned on and deep and drowsy and drifting, that kind of thing is arousing in its own way. Makes you a bit horny to think of yourself vulnerable, think of yourself controlled, think of your mind dripping out of your ears, leaving room for my thoughts to move in and control you, drive you around, enter the nervous system control center and tweak the musculature in the right directions. That kind of thought is exactly what you're looking for anyway. Takes your brain where you want it to go, helps you have a hypnotic fetish that doesn't need to be mingled with anything else. Oh, the trappings of bondage and submission can be there, and I adore them as much as anyone else. But sometimes it's nice to just take a moment to exist listening to me, to regard me as a figure of authority you'd like to listen to. And in a lot of ways, that just means I'm treating you with respect and the belief that you can grow in the ways I nurture you, like the plant growing through the maze toward the source of light. Slowly finding its way by barest sense from out of darkness and into an illuminated place where you can feel what gets shared. Feel it overtaking your mind. Feel it dripping into your consciousness. You listen, you sink, you drift, you follow. Your mind does everything it needs to do to be mine, to be under my control, guided by my words, falling into the lusty potential that I lay out for you. You listen, you sink, you follow into my voice, into the potential I present. You have the ability to feel my words flowing into you, and therefore you can have a true appreciation for hypnotic pleasure, control, for what it is to just fetishize the warm, drifty feelings that come with deepening. Oh, by the way, I left some numbers out earlier. 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Your mind is zeroed out, perfectly blank, perfectly empty, perfectly obedient, following what I say, following where I lead, following your own mind as it drips down out of your consciousness and into my control. Sink and drift and drip and follow where I lead. Ache for more. Ache for the influence I exert over your brain whenever you relax enough that my words can creep their way inside. You listen. You obey. Sink and obey. An act of simple obedience, and that's the thing, it compounds itself. If you listen to me once and feel good from what I do to your brain, then listening to me again and again will make that blank, zeroed out state seem like an attractive alternative to the ordinary, cerebral, and thinky version of you. This sinking version, instead, likes to just keep its options limited for a little while. When you have every option in the world for what you might do, things are more complicated. You need to run more of the systems of your brain. You have more CPU usage going on. But when you listen to my voice and I narrow the possibilities, making you listen, making you follow where I want you to go, and, as in this case, where I get turned on leading you, well, in those cases, your brain is able to select from a very limited menu of choices. Maintained in your brain is an understanding that every word I say is highly important, and therefore if I give you the choice to either sink deep or focus on my words to the exclusion of all else, you may choose one or the other, but then you know I'll just keep presenting similar choices, where eventually you will have checked off every option, added every flag and tag to the system of you, the post in your brain that says, I am pouring in, exerting control, presenting guidance, helping you go where you need to go in order to hear my words, sink for them, drift for them. These words do provide arousing titillation, but there's something more. You see, if I were going to say that it were over, you would feel disappointment. You want more, want me to do something more, and in this moment, because I have presented the possibility of doing things which turn me on, don't you want to discover those? And therefore, if I were to start counting you up 1 and 2, so your muscles start to regain tensity a little, and 3 and 4, you might be disappointed, you might beg please deeper, and then I would oblige down, sleep to where words are meaningless and there's only the constant run of my thoughts into your mind. Imagine me laying one hand lightly on your inner thigh and just slapping against the flesh there, inducing a sudden tingling twitch. I love to do that kind of thing, the sudden moment where somebody sinks deep and then it's followed up by a momentary physical jolt to their mind, where your body feels inundated and followed, as if the resonations I set out in your form were doing my bidding, finding your mind, influencing it, creeping in, making small, positive changes. And that's what we're going to talk about. What do I like to do? I like to make someone absolutely enamored with my voice, but also with their own body, their own appealingness as a subject, because then they will think, well, she is so worth listening to, and I am so worth trancing, and together we've created the best possible circumstances. That kind of thought process really does nurture the sensual experience. It makes hypnosis much better when someone is confident and enthusiastic, when someone wants to go under and feels like they deserve all that is best in deep trancy feelings. And so when you listen to me, your body gets to feel a little bit more like it deserves this. After all, you must, if you're getting to listen to my voice again and again flowing into your brain, making you tingle and twitch, making you listen and fall. Your brain gets relaxed, your body gets peaceful, simple, drowsy, deep. And I tell you, you're very worth trancing. You're absolutely worth talking pleasurable sensations into. You deserve to hear my words. Feel your body grow warmer, more confident in its small movements, and the twitching of your mind, the tingling of your body. You like to sink a little deeper every time I tell you about the pleasure that's going to flow into you. Every time I tell you about your mind and body squirming for me, submitting, You get to listen and feel turned on, but also feel like, yes, only your mind gets to receive these words in this moment. Only you get to hear my voice teasing its way down into your body, encouraging you to feel twitchingly aroused. Let your hands move how they will. Give in to deeper impulses inspired in you by my voice. Then imagine my influence slowly flowing down from your brain into your body, slowly making your mind squirm away and leave room for me to influence. You listen and sink and drift and drip. Your entire body squirms for it, needs it, touches, listens, and gives in. And when you give in, your mind relaxes. Your body is squirming, your mind is following. You need a little more of it, as if my words were seeking you out, finding deep refuges, finding places in the network, the switchboard of your thoughts where we can shunt things into a more favorable angle. You listen and need. And that's what we're doing. We're limiting your options in order to help make your choices simpler and more powerful. In the moment that you listen, in the moment that you sink, your mind is connected to all the words I've said to you before and all the words I will say to you after. You feel confident and ready and peaceful and like you deserve this, and you do. Feel that warm butterfly sensation in your chest. You deserve this pleasure. You've earned this pleasure by listening oh so well, and you will continue to hear and drift and drip and follow. And the more you listen and follow, the more your body feels pleasure. The more that pleasure overtakes your brain, the more your brain is linked up to me, and the more deserving you become. So it is a vicious cycle. You listen, and that makes you more trancy and able for me. And the more trancy and able you are, the more you feel like you deserve to transfer me, which adds to your confidence and your feeling of bonding. You listen and sink. And then you think, what would I do with someone whose mind was like this? Well, envision the network of all the words I've said before lives in your brain. It surrounds what is your consciousness. It's like your viewpoint is fading back from your eyes into a peaceful, safe, dark space in your mind, positively womb-like, a simple, surrounding, peaceful place. And then, with bars made of my words, with encouragement made of my voice, you let yourself lay there in the most comfortable possible position. And when you're like that, locked away, drifting away, dripping away, your mind can feel more pleasure than it has felt before. It can feel more tingling, graceless, nerveless, sudden waves of orgasmic twitching. It can feel your thoughts falling into my voice until my voice plays playfully, yes, around your mind. You deserve to hear these words, and you should hear them. You deserve any pleasure that comes after. You are capable of feeling more and more if only you give in and let my words narrow your choices so that you will always make the right choice in every circumstance which arrives. You will always make the correct choice to carry you deeper, because I will present what it is, consciously or subconsciously. That's what you're going to get. Everything I need to give you, everything you need to hear, it's going to flow into your brain and make you know the right choices to carry you deeper into hypnotic lust and enjoyment. You're going to know the right way to go to fall deeper down under me, listening to me, letting my words in. And every time you do hear this kind of thing, it feels a little more right. After all, you're spending the time, taking the time to listen, to be part of the performance of my voice on your mind and you obeying. Now we open up that feeling of submission. Oh sure, there's the hypnotic enjoyment. There is the pleasure and relaxation and fetish and flow and depth and warmth and sleep. But there's also the pure sexual ache, the feeling that your mind really should be submitting. So when I reach over and smack your inner thigh, when I reach over and grip your hair and pull you against me and purr my words in your ear, they're arriving in a mind that is very ready to just give in, to follow along, that the strength of my words and of my body positively wrapped around you, seeming so much larger in the moment when you feel small and submissive and deep and sinking. Well, in that moment, it is perfectly all right to just want one more word, one more sneaking, searching insinuation of my fingers into your hair, one more purr down your spine, one more drop escaping your wet mind, aching for me. You feel it. You need it. You throb before it. And every second that I speak, your whole body feels a little more in tune and in time with the hypnotic description I put earlier. And when you submit, when everything slips away, when you feel like you deserve what I'm going to do to you, when you feel like you've earned what I'm going to do to your brain, that is the moment I'm happiest, most turned on, most satisfied that I have created in you an experience I wish to share, of your body and brain singing in time to my words, really singing, as if the nerves and musculature were all part of one system that I could clench and relax, tense and relax, pushing pleasure into a submissive mind, confined away where its choices are limited, but its pleasure is limitless, mind falling under, sinking under, kneeling under my influence, my hands on your shoulders, gripping your hair, pulling you against me, letting you just feel the warmth of everything I might purr into your mind. That is the state I want you to be in. That's the way I want you to feel. Like you're mine and you're sinking and you obey and you fall under and lose yourself to the constant, aching, mental tingling of need and lust and deeper down. You need to feel just a little further, because the deeper you slide, the more you belong to the words that flow from me and into you, and the easier it is to take you from here to the journey's end. And sometimes people think that they don't deserve the pleasure, teasing their brains, but you do. You are the perfect counterpoint in this moment to listen and act out and follow and allow yourself to simply feel. Feel the moment where my voice is in your mind and your body is under my thrall and everything about you is perfectly aligned for more pleasure. But we're not even nearly done yet. Many more words, many more thoughts will flow into your brain, and you will deserve every one. Every moment you've listened has prepared you. You've earned credit by listening to me and letting my voice in that allows you to cash in, to give me control now, to unlock parts of your brain and slip my words in. You've waited and listened and let yourself anticipate, which is built inside your brain into a crescendo where I tell you sleep and you sleep. I tell you sink and you sink. I tell you to go a little deeper. I lay my hands on your inner thighs and smack lightly, and you twitch and tingle in the wake of it. Hearing my voice, whimpering for a little more. And that's okay. It's all right to want more because you deserve it. Feel that confidence rising in your chest. You deserve this. You deserve the good, pleasured feelings. This is what you're going to get. And not just that, by letting yourself feel that pleasure, you're fulfilling my ends as well. So together we will create the perfect experience for you, and we will both enjoy it. Sink deeper, further down. In fact, there is a point further down, a point where you're zeroed out, a blank mind. And then we go even deeper, -1 and -2, sliding past the set point of the scale and into deeper territories, uncharted waters, and -3 and 5 and 7 and 9 and 11, and sleep and deep and down and following and flowing, realizing that what you thought were the boundaries of the system are not so, and that what was done to you before can be done better and again and more pleasurably and will eternally echo in your mind, the echo of my influence and my words guiding and informing, influencing and assisting. And you do sink that little bit deeper. You allow yourself to drift in a place of consciousness where every word I say remains, teases, informs, instructs. Of course you would remember what I say, and I can tell you one thing that you will remember all throughout what follows. At the idea of you submitting, sinking, drifting, losing your mind to the feeling that you deserve those warm butterflies in your stomach that tell you, yes, this is just right, I become warm and peaceable and relaxed and a little aroused and happy as well. And now, let's find out together what can be done to a mind that so thoroughly deserves my machinations. Deeper for me.